Listen carefully. This is not noise. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. There is a reason your heart feels heavy right now, even if you cannot explain it. There is a reason your thoughts keep returning to your child, especially your son, even when nothing seems visibly wrong. Heaven does not interrupt without cause. When God speaks urgently, it is because silence has already lasted too long. Your son is crying alone. Not always with tears that you can see, not always with words that you can hear, but with a weight inside his spirit that he does not know how to carry anymore. You may say, I just spoke to him. You may say, he looks fine. You may say, he did not tell me anything. But God is not responding to what is visible. God is responding to what has been hidden. There are children who learn early how to smile while breaking inside. There are sons who decide to protect their parents by hiding their pain. There are hearts that suffer quietly because they believe no one will understand, or worse, no one will notice. And today, God is saying, I noticed. That sudden heaviness you felt did not come from fear. It came from connection. A bond that was formed before words existed. A bond that does not disappear with age. When your child hurts deeply, something in you stirs, even if you do not know why. This message found you because your spirit was already listening. Your son has been carrying questions he does not know how to ask. He has been facing moments where he feels unseen, misunderstood, or overwhelmed. Not because you failed him, but because the world places weights on young hearts that were never meant to be carried alone. There are nights he lies awake longer than he admits. There are thoughts he pushes away during the day so no one notices the struggle. There are emotions he does not have language for yet, so he buries them instead. God is not accusing you. God is calling you to pause, calling you to look deeper, calling you to respond before silence becomes damage. This is why you must not rush this moment. Do not scroll past it. Do not treat it as another video. Timing matters. Messages like this arrive when delay can cost comfort, clarity, or closeness. Your son does not need perfection from you. He needs presence. He needs covering. He needs to know that someone sees him even when he cannot explain himself. There are prayers you prayed years ago that are still active. There are seeds you planted that are still alive. But there are also moments where God asks for action, not later, now. Something has been pressing on your child's heart. It may be confusion. It may be pressure. It may be loneliness. It may be fear he cannot name. Or it may be the exhaustion of trying to be strong when he feels weak. Please support, if you wish to express your and subscribe this channel and share it with anyone. And heaven is urging you, do not assume silence means peace. God often alerts parents before situations escalate, not to create fear, but to release protection. This stirring you feel is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to awaken you. Because when a parent responds in time, trajectories change. When a parent listens deeply, walls fall. When a parent covers their child spiritually and emotionally, light enters places darkness hoped to hide. Your son is not distant because he does not love you. He is quiet because he does not know how to open the door yet. And God is saying, you are the key. Not with interrogation. Not with pressure. But with warmth. With attentiveness. With presence that says, you do not have to carry this alone. There are moments when children test silence before they test speech. They wait to see if someone will notice. They wait to see if someone will ask, not out of control, but out of care. This is one of those moments. You did not come here by accident. Something in you knew to stop. Something in you knew to listen. That is the same instinct God is asking you to trust with your child. Stay with this message. There is more you need to understand. More clarity that will help you respond wisely, not emotionally. more guidance that will help you protect without panicking. Your son's heart matters more than you realize, and your response in this season matters more than you think. Do not ignore the stirring. Do not dismiss the nudge. This is not fear calling your name. This is love asking you to come closer. Stay here. Do not move past this moment. What you are sensing right now is not imagination. It is recognition. Something inside you is responding because truth has a way of finding the heart before the mind understands it. There is a hidden reality many parents never talk about. Children often suffer silently not because they are weak, but because they believe their pain is a burden to others. Your son did not stop feeling. He stopped expressing. And that is far more dangerous than tears. God is revealing something rare and uncomfortable. Many sons learn to be quiet when they feel unheard, not unloved. Silence becomes their shield. Strength becomes their disguise. And over time, that disguise becomes heavy. Your son has been trying to figure things out alone. Moments where he questioned his worth. Moments where he wondered if anyone truly saw him. Moments where he needed reassurance but did not know how to ask. You may not have noticed the signs because they were subtle. A change in tone, a shorter response, a smile that does not reach the eyes, a withdrawal that looks like independence but feels like isolation on the inside. Here is the shocking truth many never realize until it is too late. Children rarely cry for help loudly. They test love quietly. God is intervening now because heaven does not want distance to become damage. This is not about guilt. This is about timing. God trusts you enough to alert you now, not after regret enters the story. That is mercy. There is a spiritual sensitivity between parent and child that does not break with age. When something weighs on your son's heart, your spirit feels restless. That uneasiness you felt recently did not come from nowhere. It came from connection. And God is saying, pay attention. Your son is not asking for solutions. He is asking to be seen. He is asking to be understood without interrogation. He is asking for a safe space where his thoughts can breathe. Many parents think guidance begins with advice. But God teaches that healing begins with listening. There are conversations waiting to happen that will only open if your tone is gentle, your presence is calm, and your attention is undivided. Rushed concern closes hearts. Patient presence opens them. Your son does not need to be fixed. He needs to be held, emotionally, spiritually, intentionally. God is reminding you that love is not proven by control, but by consistency. By showing up without agenda. By creating moments where your child does not feel evaluated, but valued. Here is the revelation that changes everything. When a child feels safe enough to speak, healing already begins, even before answers arrive. Your willingness to slow down will unlock doors force never could. There is unseen love surrounding your family right now. Love that does not accuse. Love that protects. Love that waits patiently for your response. Do not underestimate what one intentional moment can do. One conversation. One walk together. One quiet check, in without judgment. One reminder that your son is not alone in his thoughts. This message is not meant to rush you into fear. It is meant to guide you into wisdom. Stay present. Stay open. Stay willing, because what God is about to reveal next will help you understand how to respond without pushing, how to protect without overwhelming, and how to restore closeness where silence has quietly grown. Do not leave yet. What comes next matters deeply, for you, and for your son. There is something deeper happening than you realize. Your son's struggle is not only emotional, it is also spiritual. When a child feels unseen for too long, their heart does not harden, it grows tired. And tired hearts stop reaching out, not because they do not want help, but because they begin to believe help will not come. This is the moment God is interrupting. Not later. Not someday. Now. Because delays do not always look dramatic. Sometimes they look quiet. Sometimes they look like distance. Sometimes they look like a child learning to survive without support. Here is what most parents are never told. Children often interpret silence as confirmation. When they stay quiet and nothing changes, they assume their feelings are invisible. Over time, that assumption shapes how they see themselves. Your son has been trying to understand his place in the world, wondering if he matters, questioning if his emotions are valid, asking himself questions he does not yet have answers for. And God is saying something powerful to you right now. Your response will shape how he answers those questions. This is not about fixing every problem. It is about restoring trust. Trust that he can speak and be heard. Trust that he can feel and be accepted. Trust that home is not a place of pressure, but a place of safety. Many parents worry about saying the wrong thing. But silence, when a child is hurting, speaks louder than mistakes ever could. Presence heals more than perfect words. There is a reason this message feels personal. There is a reason it feels urgent. God does not awaken concern without providing direction. Your son needs reassurance that love does not disappear when he struggles, that he does not have to earn attention by being strong, that he is valued even in moments of confusion. Here is a truth that can change everything. When a child feels deeply loved, their courage returns. When courage returns, clarity follows. You may not see immediate change. Healing does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it begins quietly, with trust being rebuilt one moment at a time. God is guiding you toward consistency, toward patience, toward intentional connection that says, I am here, and I am not leaving. This is how unseen love becomes visible. Do not underestimate what God can do through your calm presence, through your listening heart, through your willingness to stay engaged even when answers are unclear. What your son needs most right now is not solutions, it is assurance. Assurance that he does not walk alone. Assurance that someone is watching closely. Assurance that love surrounds him even when he feels unsure of himself. Stay with this message. What is coming next will help you understand how to move forward with wisdom, not fear, and how to respond in ways that protect both his heart and yours. This moment matters more than you know. There is a moment every parent faces when love must become intentional, not assumed. This is that moment. God is not asking you to panic. God is asking you to align. Because what feels heavy right now is not meant to crush you. It is meant to position you. Position you to become a source of peace instead of pressure. Position you to become a refuge instead of a reminder of expectations. Your son is not broken. He is becoming. But becoming is painful when it happens alone. There are seasons in a child's life when the world feels louder than love. When opinions, comparisons, and unspoken standards press against the heart. When confusion grows quietly and identity feels fragile. In those seasons, silence feels safer than speaking. And God is saying something unmistakable. Be the place where his voice is safe. You do not need to demand answers. You do not need to force conversations. You need to create space where words are welcomed whenever they are ready to come. This is how healing begins. Consistency, gentleness, availability. Not one big speech, but many small moments. A tone that says, I am listening. A presence that says, you matter. A response that says, you are not alone. Here is the revelation many overlook. Children feel loved most when they feel chosen repeatedly, not assumed permanently. Your son needs to feel chosen again. Chosen to be heard. Chosen to be understood. Chosen even when he is quiet, unsure, or withdrawn. God is restoring something between you that distance tried to steal. Do not let fear rush you. Let wisdom guide you. Love that is calm creates safety. Safety creates openness. Openness creates healing. There is unseen protection surrounding your home right now. Protection that strengthens when you lean into patience instead of control. Protection that grows when you choose presence over pressure. Trust that God is working with you, not against you. Trust that this awareness is not a burden, it is a gift. A chance to respond before pain deepens. A chance to reconnect before distance hardens. Your son's heart is closer than you think. He has not gone far. He has only been waiting. Waiting to see if someone notices. Waiting to see if someone stays. Waiting to see if love speaks louder than silence. This is your moment to answer without force. To move without fear. To love without conditions. Stay steady. Stay present. Stay connected. Because when a parent responds with wisdom, heaven responds with peace. There is a quiet truth God wants you to understand right now. Healing does not always begin with answers. It begins with reassurance. Your son does not need you to solve everything he is facing. He needs to know that no matter what he faces, he does not face it alone. That certainty becomes strength. That assurance becomes stability. Many parents believe love is obvious. But children experience love through attention, not assumption. Through moments where they feel prioritized, not postponed. Your son has been watching. Watching how often you pause. Watching how often you listen without interrupting. Watching how safe it feels to be honest. And God is gently inviting you into a new rhythm, one where connection is intentional, not accidental. Here is something few people realize. When a child feels deeply loved, their inner world becomes quieter. Fear loses its voice. Confusion loses its grip. Hope begins to speak again. Your calm presence matters more than you think. There are wounds that heal simply because someone stayed. There are struggles that lose power simply because someone cared enough to notice. God is working in ways you cannot yet see. Even now, awareness is shifting something. Even now, love is softening places that felt distant. Do not rush the process. Trust it. Your role is not to control outcomes. Your role is to create safety. And safety invites honesty. Honesty invites healing. There is nothing weak about tenderness. There is nothing small about patience. These are the quiet forces that rebuild trust and restore peace. Your son's heart is still open. It has not closed. It has only been waiting for a reassurance strong enough to step forward. And you are capable of giving that reassurance. Stay grounded. Stay attentive. Stay loving. Because when love becomes consistent, fear begins to fade. And when fear fades, clarity returns. This journey is not about perfection. It is about presence. And presence, offered steadily, changes everything. There is one more layer God wants you to see. Sometimes a child's silence is not about pain alone. Sometimes it is about confusion. Sometimes it is about feeling lost between who they are and who they think they are expected to be. Your son has been standing at that quiet intersection, trying to understand himself, trying to understand the world, trying to understand where he fits. And when clarity does not come quickly, the heart grows tired. This is where divine love steps in, not loudly, not forcefully, but steadily. God does not rush growth. God nurtures it. And now, God is inviting you to do the same. Your son needs permission to be human, permission to be unsure, permission to grow at his own pace. Many children carry invisible pressure to be strong, to be responsible, to not disappoint. Over time, that pressure becomes weight. And weight, when carried too long, becomes exhaustion. God is lifting that weight by awakening your awareness. This awareness is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to guide you gently into deeper understanding, to help you respond with patience instead of urgency, with love instead of worry. Here is the powerful truth: reassurance heals faster than correction ever could. When a child feels accepted as they are, they gain the courage to become who they are meant to be. Your son does not need to be reminded of expectations. He needs to be reminded of belonging. Belonging tells him he is safe. Belonging tells him he is valued. Belonging tells him he is not alone in his questions. God is weaving something beautiful through this season. Even if it feels uncertain now, this moment is not wasted. It is shaping resilience. It is strengthening bonds. It is restoring trust. You are not late. You are not unaware. You are right on time. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay open with your child. Stay anchored in love. Because when love leads, healing follows. And when healing begins, hope quietly rises again. Stay here. The final part will bring everything together. This is where everything comes together. What began as a stirring now becomes a calling. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady and unmistakable. God is showing you that love, when chosen deliberately, becomes protection. Your son is not asking for perfection. He is asking for presence that does not disappear when things feel uncertain. There is a quiet healing that happens when a child realizes someone is truly paying attention, not watching to correct, but watching to care. That realization changes how a heart breathes. This season is not about fixing the past. It is about shaping what comes next. Your willingness to slow down has already begun to shift something unseen. Your attentiveness has already created space for trust to return. Even if nothing has been spoken yet, something has been felt. Children sense safety before they speak. They sense acceptance before they open up. They sense love long before they name it. And your son is sensing it now. God is reminding you that connection is not built in one moment, but in many quiet ones. Moments that say, I am here. Moments that say, you matter. Moments that say, you do not have to hide. Here is the final truth God wants you to carry with you. Love expressed consistently becomes a refuge. And refuges save hearts. Your son's journey is still unfolding. His questions do not define him. His uncertainty does not weaken him. His silence does not distance him from love. He is still connected. He is still open. He is still reaching, quietly. And now, you are reaching too. Trust that this awareness came at the right time. Trust that patience will reveal what urgency never could. Trust that love, when offered freely, restores what fear tried to steal. You are not alone in this. Your son is not alone in this. And what felt heavy at the beginning now becomes something lighter, because understanding has replaced uncertainty. Stay present. Stay loving. Stay with this feeling for a moment. Not the heaviness you felt at the beginning, but the quiet clarity settling in now. That shift is important. It means understanding has begun to replace uncertainty. God is not only speaking about your son. God is shaping you in this season too. Because when a parent grows in awareness, a child grows in safety. Your son's tears were never meant to accuse you. They were meant to call you closer. And closeness is exactly what is being restored now, slowly, gently, intentionally. There is a sacred power in showing up consistently, in being predictable in love, in becoming someone your child does not have to wonder about. Wonder creates anxiety. Consistency creates peace. Your son needs peace more than explanations. Peace tells him that whatever he is feeling, it will not scare love away. Peace tells him that questions are allowed. Peace tells him that he belongs before he understands. This is where divine purpose reveals itself, not in dramatic moments, but in daily decisions to remain present. God works quietly through steady love. Every time you listen without rushing, every time you notice without judging, every time you choose patience over pressure, those moments accumulate. They build something strong and unshakable inside a child's heart. Here is the truth that completes this message. Love does not need to be loud to be powerful. It only needs to be reliable. Your son will remember how safe he felt more than what was said. He will remember who stayed more than who spoke. He will remember love that remained when things felt uncertain. What began as concern has become connection. What began as silence has become understanding. What began as heaviness has become hope. Trust that God is still working beyond what you can see. Trust that unseen love is active, not absent. Trust that your presence is already making a difference. You were guided here for a reason, not to feel afraid, but to feel equipped. And as you move forward, carry this with you. When love leads, healing follows. When healing follows, purpose unfolds. This journey is not over, but it is no longer lonely. Now listen closely, because this part carries a truth many parents never hear until much later. Your son's healing is not waiting for a perfect moment. It is waiting for a consistent one. Consistency tells a child, I am not here only when things go wrong. Consistency tells a child, you do not have to earn my attention. Consistency tells a child, my love does not fluctuate with your mood. This is where trust becomes solid. Your son is learning, quietly, whether love is dependable or conditional. Not through speeches, but through patterns. Through how often you notice. Through how often you return. Through how safe it feels to simply exist around you. God is teaching you something powerful here. What feels small to you feels permanent to a child. A gentle check-in. A calm presence. A moment of shared silence without pressure. These moments shape identity. Your son's heart is rebuilding its sense of safety right now. Even if you cannot see it, something inside him is relaxing. Something inside him is starting to believe that he does not have to stay guarded forever. And that belief changes everything. Here is the once, in a lifetime realization God wants you to receive. When a child feels secure in love, their future shifts quietly but permanently. Confidence grows where fear once lived. Hope rises where confusion once lingered. Strength forms where loneliness once stood. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. This awareness did not come to shame you. It came to equip you. To remind you that love is already present. It only needed direction. Your son does not need grand gestures. He needs steady ones. Ones that say, I am still here, even on ordinary days. God is working through the ordinary right now. Through daily presence. Through patience that does not rush outcomes. Through love that remains calm even when answers are unclear. If you ever doubt whether this matters, remember this. Children rarely forget how someone made them feel when they were vulnerable. And your son is feeling something new now. Safety, reassurance, hope. Carry this forward. Let it guide how you listen, how you respond, how you stay present. Because when love becomes consistent, healing becomes inevitable. And what once felt fragile begins to grow strong again. There is one final shift happening now. And it is subtle but powerful. At the beginning, this message felt urgent. Then it felt heavy. Now it feels steady. That is how healing often works. God does not rush hearts. God reassures them until they remember how to trust again. And your heart is remembering. Your son's heart is responding. This journey was never about fear. It was about awareness awakening love into
Your
action.
son's
Quiet struggle has already begun to lose its hold, not because everything is solved, but because he is no longer alone in it. Loneliness weakens the spirit. Connection restores it. You have become that connection. Here is the truth God wants you to carry forward. Love expressed consistently becomes a foundation a child can stand on for life. Not dramatic moments. Not perfect words, but steady presence. Your son will grow stronger because he feels supported, not pressured. He will find clarity because he feels safe, not rushed. He will learn resilience because he experienced love that did not disappear during uncertainty. This is divine purpose unfolding quietly. The world teaches children to harden early. Love teaches them to stay open. And openness, when protected, becomes strength. Your role is not to control the future. Your role is to remain connected in the present. That is where influence lives. That is where healing stays active. What began as a message has become a reminder. Love is not passive. Love notices. Love stays. Love listens. And when love leads, hearts follow. You were meant to hear this. Your son was meant to be covered by this awareness. And what once felt like silent pain is now becoming silent healing. Carry this forward with gentleness, with patience, with confidence. Because love, when chosen daily, never fails to reach the heart it was meant for. Something important is settling into place now. This is the stage where awareness turns into quiet confidence, where love stops feeling reactive and starts feeling grounded, where you no longer question whether you should act, you simply know how to be. Your son is sensing that shift. Children feel emotional safety before they understand it. They notice when energy changes, when attention becomes steady, when love stops hovering and starts resting. That is what is happening now. God is not only restoring connection, God is strengthening foundation. Your son is learning, day by day, that his emotions are allowed, that his presence is welcomed, that his silence does not push love away. This knowledge becomes an anchor inside him. Here is the powerful truth many never hear. A child who feels emotionally safe grows into an adult who trusts life. You are shaping that future quietly, not through control, not through fear, but through reliability. Reliability teaches the heart to relax. Your son's heart is relaxing. The pressure to perform, the pressure to hide, the pressure to be strong too soon. Those pressures lose their power when love becomes a constant. God is reminding you that strength does not come from being guarded. It comes from being supported. And support does not shout, it stays. This is why this moment matters long after this message ends. Because what you are building now cannot be shaken easily. It becomes part of who your son is. It becomes the voice inside him that says, I am not alone. That voice will guide him when you are not in the room. That voice will steady him when confusion appears. That voice will remind him of love when the world feels uncertain. This is divine work unfolding quietly through you. You are not doing too little. You are doing exactly what is needed. Stay steady. Stay open. Stay present. Because love that remains consistent becomes wisdom in the heart of a child, and that wisdom lasts a lifetime. Now there is a calm where there was once urgency. That calm is not distance. It is alignment. When love finds its rhythm, fear no longer leads the conversation. And right now, love is leading. Your son is not waiting for a dramatic change. He is responding to something quieter and far more powerful: stability. The feeling that nothing about him needs to be hidden to be accepted. This is the kind of healing that lasts. God is showing you that clarity does not always arrive as answers. Sometimes it arrives as peace. Peace that settles into daily life. Peace that softens reactions. Peace that turns worry into attentiveness. That peace is working in you. That peace is reaching your son. Here is a truth that reshapes everything. When a child feels emotionally covered, they stop bracing for impact. They stop expecting disappointment. They stop preparing to be misunderstood. Instead, they begin to trust. Trust that their voice matters. Trust that their feelings are welcome. Trust that love will not disappear when they are unsure. God is using this season to deepen wisdom in you, not the kind that speaks loudly, but the kind that listens carefully, the kind that understands timing, the kind that knows when to be silent and when to stay close. This is divine purpose expressed through everyday love. Nothing about this is accidental. The awareness you gain did not come to pass quickly, it came to remain, to guide your choices, to steady your presence. Your son will carry this with him longer than you realize. He will remember how safe it felt. He will remember how steady you were. He will remember that love did not rush him. That memory becomes strength. You do not need to search for signs anymore. You are living the response. Each day you remain present, something unseen continues to heal. Stay gentle. Stay consistent. Stay loving. Because when love becomes a constant, hearts learn how to rest, and rested hearts grow strong. There is a quiet strength forming now, and it is important that you recognize it. This strength is not loud. It does not announce itself. It simply stays. Your son is beginning to internalize something life-changing. Love can be trusted. And when love becomes trustworthy, fear slowly loses its authority. Many people spend their lives searching for reassurance they never fully received. But your son is receiving it now, through consistency, through patience, through presence that does not waver. God is confirming this to you for a reason. Because what is being built in this season will protect him in seasons you will not always see. A child who feels emotionally secure learns how to regulate storms inside himself. He learns that uncertainty does not mean abandonment. He learns that confusion does not mean rejection. That learning shapes character. God is using ordinary moments to create extraordinary resilience. The kind that does not depend on external approval. The kind that stands steady even when life feels unclear. Your role remains simple, yet powerful. Stay available. Stay attentive. Stay calm. Not every moment needs words. Some moments need warmth. Some need silence that feels safe. Some need nothing more than your steady presence. This is how love speaks without speaking. Your son is not fragile. He is forming. And formation requires patience. God is reminding you not to rush what is growing naturally. There will come a time when he will speak more freely. When clarity will replace confusion. When confidence will replace hesitation. That time is being prepared now, quietly. You are not meant to force outcomes. You are meant to protect space. Space where trust can breathe. Space where healing can finish its work. Space where love remains consistent. This is divine timing unfolding gently. And as this part of the journey settles, remember this truth. Love that stays during quiet seasons becomes the anchor during loud ones. You are building that anchor now. Something important is completing its work now. What began as awareness has matured into assurance. You are no longer reacting, you are responding. And that difference matters more than you realize. Your son is feeling that difference. He may not say it. He may not explain it. But he senses it. Children recognize when love becomes steady instead of strained. When presence becomes calm instead of concerned. When attention feels genuine instead of urgent. This steadiness tells his heart, I am safe here. God is reminding you that safety is the soil where growth happens. Without safety, hearts protect themselves. With safety, hearts open naturally. Your son is opening. Slowly, quietly, honestly. Not because he is pushed, but because he is protected. Here is the revelation that brings clarity. Love that does not rush allows truth to rise on its own. You do not need to search for proof that this is working. The proof will come in time, in confidence, in openness, in peace that shows up unexpectedly. God is still present in this process. Still guiding. Still covering. Still strengthening what cannot be seen yet. You are not carrying this alone. This season is teaching you something lasting, That guidance does not always look like instruction. Sometimes it looks like patience. Sometimes it looks like waiting without worry. Your son is learning how to trust life because he is learning how to trust love. And that lesson will follow him wherever he goes. Stay grounded. Stay gentle. Stay consistent. Because love that remains steady through quiet seasons becomes the foundation that holds